Hello and welcome to my Friday video where I explain something about gua sha. Now today we're going to have a look at problems in the sinus area and your nose. Now if you watch these videos you'll know that I spend a great deal of my time in the forest all around me, and there are particular trees which often cause you to sneeze when you go past them. One of them is tree heather. Now there's lots of tree heather in this area. Now tree heather are very close to the ground and grow outwards, so they're very difficult to pass through if you're going through the thick forest. And when they're in flower, they're everywhere, and often all of the ground outside the top of the car and inside the house is covered with a yellow powder, which will be the pollen coming off these flowers. So sometimes we get stuff going on in the nasal area. Now these kind of things that I'm going to show you today, they're applicable to any situation, whether it be allergies or whether it be retention of phlegm in the nose area, or a whole variety of different things. So let's have a look at how you might attack this area of your face with gua sha. Okay, well the first place is at the top of your head. Now I've got my tool here and it's yellow so you can see it quite clearly on the black. So if you go up the center of your face, so find the center of your nose and then go straight up over your forehead. Now, if you don't have any hair, it's where the hairline would be if you did have the hair. So you kind of have to just guess where it would be. Just above, kind of a couple of centimeters behind and a couple of centimeters in front of this line is the area we want. So if you go straight up and it's just here, just this area there. And we want to apply pressure and movement with the gua sha tool for around 30 seconds in this area. And so let's come down to the facial area. So it's pretty obvious what you're going to do. So there's some useful areas which are connected with what's happening in the sinus area. You've got a zone called Bitong, which is next to your nose. There's large intestine 20, which is at the side of the flare of your nostrils. And there's bladder 1, which is just on the inside of your eyes. Those ones are the most direct ones that are going to affect the nose area. And you can put pressure on these, and you can also sweep outwards. So if I show you the bladder 1, which is by the side of your eye, you just pressure a little bit and then come out. And then Bitong, pressure and come out. And then large intestine 20, pressure and come out. Now, how about your hand? Well, the area which is part of the whole lung area, because the sinus is part of your lungs, is this area where your knuckles are on the back, come round the front, and it's where the metacarpal phalangeal joints are. This is the area where you want to use the smaller side of whatever tool you're using, and instead of doing the scraping, you're looking for areas which are tight, and I can feel them quite tight here. And you're using very short up and down movements, trying to clear any of the tension which is in a kind of micro level in this joint area. And another place on the hand is the nose area, which is on the middle finger, and it's at the very last phalangeal joint, and it's on the palm side, and we're looking at taking the tension but on a smaller scale. You might be used to using gua sha on the back and lots of big scrapes on large surface areas, but gua sha is also very important to use in the smaller areas, and this is an example of that. So taking tension out of smaller areas can actually be the key in changing the body in the larger areas. And now the obvious place to go for treatment for the sinus area is your arm, and there's two areas that we want to look at. One of them is the lung, which is coming from the chest area and coming down the inside of your arm and coming down all the way to your thumb area. And so this is starting in the area of the chest and coming down. So if you want to scrape the whole channel, then you would just scrape down towards the end of the thumb. That's the lung channel. And generally you're looking for sore areas along that channel, so you don't need to do the whole thing. You can just look for sore areas. The other one is the large intestine channel, and that's coming from your index finger, coming down the side of the arm to the middle of the elbow, and then up the side of the arm to the shoulder. And then this one begins at your finger and comes up to the elbow and then up the side and up to the shoulder. And another area that's quite important is the upper back, and this is the area between your shoulder blades. And you need some help with this because you can't really do that yourself. But the area you need is in the muscles in between your shoulder blades and your spine. So if you were to do this on a daily basis and eliminate the tension that's in the tissue beds, then this will be really useful in helping you to combat problems in the sinus area. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel, and I'll be seeing you next week.